Hello, everyone. Carter Krishnar here. I've seen a fair amount of criticism of USL's D1 announcement on social media by people saying we don't need another Division One league. Not an actual critique of the league itself or the idea itself, the concept. It is basically a concept at this point, the concept itself, but basically saying MLS has it covered. Now, this is really a defeatist attitude for a country that at one time, although it's kind of par for the course for what we've seen from the United States the last 10 or 15 years, not just in football, soccer, but just in general. But it is a defeatist attitude for a country that was all about innovation, that was all about the free market, that was all about competition, that was all about creating things that are new and better. And that's how we kept our edge. That's how we became the greatest nation on earth. The last 15 years, and those of you who don't know this, I don't like to get too political on this channel, on Beyond the 90, but I come from a background in Democratic Party politics. And the Democrats had become a party in many ways that supported the idea of prescribed outcomes, which is you get things handed to you, outcomes that are prescribed in advance, not competitive outcomes, but outcomes prescribed in advance. In the last 10 years, or most, now I guess I'm going to get overtly political, since Donald Trump became the standard bearer of the Republican Party, they've become the same thing. Maybe the outcomes that the Republicans prescribe and the Democrats prescribe are different, but they're still prescribed outcomes. They're not the free market. They're not competition. They're not fostering a culture of innovation. Most notably, recently we have President Trump talking about tariffs and protectionism, which is antithetical to the free market. It is antithetical to innovation. It is protectionism. It is saying, okay, we are going to give you something, but you can't compete with that something. I don't want to get too deep into that. I'm just making that as an analogy for where we've gone in American society, because Major League Soccer may have the best format, the best product ever. Now, I don't happen to think that. I don't like single entity. I think single entity and the structure of Major League Soccer holds back American soccer in many ways. It holds back player development. It holds back market development. It holds back fandom. And most importantly, it might be holding back the popularity of the domestic game within the United States, and the MLS is in Canada as well. So in Canada has the Canadian Premier League as their second division. So USL, which was in Canada before MLS and has probably contributed more or as much to the development of Canadian soccer as Major League Soccer, is no longer in Canada per CONCACAF's decree to push them out in 2019 and push Ottawa out of that league. So USL is now entirely in the United States as of now. Rumors circulating that USL might want to go back into the Caribbean, a place they've gone before and failed, but nothing definitive at this point. But there are people who say that USL should not be allowed to compete with MLS. MLS is the first division. That's it. They're entitled to it forever. And not only is it not an open system, right, like you have in the rest of the world, not only do we not have promotion and relegation, but as I mentioned, MLS's closed league is a peculiar system for even a closed league. It's not a closed league where teams can spend freely, where you're making your owners, actually they're not actually owners in MLS, they're operators, are making individual decisions. So irrespective of what USL's plans are, how this concept is filled out and how it looks, competition is a good thing. Competition will help American soccer. Competition will help us further develop the sport in this country. Competition will help us gain more fans in this country. Competition will bring more investment into the sport in this country. Competition ultimately will benefit everybody who plays football in the United States, plays football or soccer, and works in football and soccer. Competition is what rises. It gives us the rising tide that lifts all boats. So I'm, as I said, perplexed by some of the reaction. I thought, okay, people would be saying, let's prove MLS has the better model and that this isn't needed. But instead, a lot of people are saying MLS should be protected. There should be no other first division. There should be no competition. And MLS is a league that, after this is going to be its 30th season, still struggles to get 1 million viewers domestically for its biggest matches. In fact, it's slipping further and further below that because of the ill-advised Apple TV deal, which I think now 3 years into that, we can definitively say those of us who were concerned about MLS going in that direction, our fears and concerns have been confirmed. So innovation, entrepreneurship, growth, it all comes from competition.